against threats, foreign and domestic. They protect our skies with missile defense weaponry. They secure our information, communications, and infrastructure with cybersecurity. And they protect us against chemical, biological, and radiological hazards with the civilian support team. The Army National Guard also stands ready to deploy and provide support for conflicts or humanitarian missions abroad. Join the Army National Guard and be there to respond, protect, and support your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the South Dakota Army National Guard. Aired by the South Dakota Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. With today's home values, right now could be a great time to sell your home. The Black Hills housing market is competitive, and I would love to help you get top dollar for your home. I have been selling real estate and attracting buyers in Rapid City for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. If you're thinking of selling your current home, let me put my expertise to work for you. Just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker. List it, sell it, and move on. With me, David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards. Find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City. Need to know.
Baker Mayfield is in camp for the Buccaneers, but it doesn't mean he's necessarily happy after not getting a long-term extension from the team.
I think I'm a franchise quarterback. I've been told I'm a franchise quarterback. It's been said publicly from ownership down here. And so to not have a deal done is very disappointing.
Also said he felt disrespected with the offers that the Buccaneers gave him. Mayfield going to play the upcoming season under his current deal. It's a new deal for Saints wide receiver Chris Olave. He and the team have agreed on a 4-year extension worth $132 million. He gets $90 million guaranteed to play in the Big Easy. Falcons quarterback Tua Tagovailoa did some individual drills in camp today as he continues to deal with tightness in his back. Bengals defensive end Shamar Stewart's going to miss multiple weeks but avoided serious injury after hyperextending his knee in practice yesterday. Twins get a walk-off grand slam to beat the Royals 4-3. White Sox down the Yankees in 11-2-1. Cubs 4, Cardinals 2-10.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, good Thursday afternoon. We're ready to go. South Dakota Sports Talk Show back and ready. It is the Nate Brown Show live on Fox Sports Radio. Thanks for being here. KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. We are live. East River, let's go. And we are live in the Black Hills, Western South Dakota on Fox Sports Rapid City. What do we have on a Thursday? Great stuff tonight. Really good stuff. It's an A-list guest lineup. Our all-time favorites, all in one show. Now, I've got some nice guests, and I appreciate everybody that's joined the show over the years. These guys have been great, and we got South Dakota, we got college football, we got NFL. I mean, this is good stuff from local to regional to national. Let's get going. By the way, it is always a great day in South Dakota. You've got to remember that. Remember that. Always a great day in South Dakota, and the Nate Brown Show is on. If you can't listen to the radio the whole 2 hours, we're ready. But if you can't join us 2 hours on the radio, go to X. Stream us at Nate Brown Show. Find us on X. Follow the show and watch us live at Nate Brown Show. Also, YouTube channel, youtube.com, The Nate Brown Show. Find us there, youtube.com, The Nate Brown Show. How does Thursday look? I've been pumping it up here. So who is on tap? Your all-time favorites. Matt Zimmer. Zim, you make the all-time favorite list for a Thursday, wrapping up July. Matt Zimmer's coming up. He was at Yotes camp yesterday. He was at Jack's camp today. So I got to get Zim on. Zimmer's in from Sioux Falls Live talking Jackson Yotes, a good update. First day he visited the camps. John Brice is on from Big Ten Media Days. John Brice, college football national writer, USA Today. And it's a big college football day today. You don't know that, but I'm going to fill you in on that because I'm not going to talk about everything goofy like some of the shows. We're going to talk some real sports tonight. Brian Noah's on as well. Fox Sports Radio, A-list guest on the Nate Brown Show. He's the national host on Fox Sports Radio on Saturday and Sundays. You hear him all football season with Countdown to Kickoff. And Brian Noah's in tonight from Las Vegas. Who else is coming up? I said it's a show full of the all-timers, the A-listers. Rob Keighron. Thursday happy hour, full hour, next hour with our guest host, national radio host, New York City's finest. Rob Keighron is in next hour on a Thursday happy hour. Okay, I've set the table. Let's get you on. Be a part of the show. 605-720-1067. Lock the number in. 605-720-1067. Join us live on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch. 2 East Railroad locations in Brandon and East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, home of everyone's favorite buffet by far. The Pizza Ranch, so good. If you have a family like me, we love that place. Go to the Barron's Wilson text line. If you want to text the show, you can do that right here. 605-720-1067. Same number. Text the show on the Barron's Wilson text line. All right, I told you it was a big day for college football, and I know we could talk about all sorts of goofy stuff. It's summer, and people are trying to get into real practices, and you're trying to break down training camp and all that. There's going to be time for that. Let's talk about something big that people have been working on, and we've been discussing. We've had guests on about it. We've been throwing it around. I'm pretty dialed in on this. I'm really interested in it. I'm pretty plugged in on it, and it's so far this week, I've just let it die. Because I'm not going to get into the weeds on this thing every single day with the audience. But it is time to tell you exactly what's happening with the Protect College Sports Act. Doesn't that sound exciting? Hang with me. Hang with me. This is the bill from Ted Cruz and Maria Cantwell, a Texas Republican, a Washington Democrat, 2 senators that have been working on this with everybody, and they are hitting a brick wall today. There's been 270 revisions on this. I thought there was revision, and there's all sorts of things going on, and I'm going to just break this down simply of what the big issue is. And so let me give you an update on where it's at. The Protect College Sports Act's trying to do quite a bit of stuff. They're trying to have a salary cap on NIL payments. So they're trying to even the playing field. So Ohio State and Texas can't go one way, and whoever else, Iowa State, goes the other way. Okay, so NIL cap. They're trying to limit the transfers. One-time transfer is good. After that, no dice. Okay, so the transfer's limited. They're trying to limit the power conferences. They're trying to cap the power conferences so the SEC and the Big Ten can't just take a Notre Dame and somebody else and then leave everybody else to fend for themselves. And it's the Big Ten and the SEC controlling everything. So they're trying to cap new membership with the big conferences. And finally, they're trying to give the low-tier conferences in college sports an ability to get more money in the media deals by pooling their rights. So the Mountain West with the American Conference, with all of these conferences, they would all come together and sell them to Fox, CBS, ESPN. And if you had all of these conferences and some good programs in here, the new Pac-12, you would throw them in and then you'd get more money that way from the networks, and this would allow them to compete with the SEC and the Big Ten. They get all the TV money. So I just went through the 4 pillars, and there is other stuff, but that's what they're trying to tackle. And I think this is all good stuff. I've been supporting this. I have been supporting this. And you know why I know this is a pretty good deal? You know how I know that today? Because both sides are kind of thinking it's not the best for them. When you do a negotiation, when you do a deal, there's got to be a give and take. There's a give and take. So I know this is a good deal because the Big Ten and SEC think it's not the best for them. I know it's a good deal then. And people are like, well, if the Big Ten and the SEC aren't on this, if they aren't in on this, it's just not going to work. Do you buy into that? So let me tell you where we're at. Senator John Thune, South Dakota, Murdo, South Dakota's finest. Senator John Thune did not file a necessary move today that would bring the Protect College Sports Act next week for a vote. Okay, so I'm giving you some real news here on the Nate Brown Show tonight in this world of college sports. John Thune, Senate Majority Leader, had to file and make a move today. Usually they make these moves today to bring it up on the docket for next week for a vote. So he did not do that today. Some people have said that means it's done. It's dead. It's over. They said they might be able to do it Monday. This is like just going back to the drawing board. Hey, we're going to get this done Thursday. We got like a huge monumental legislation for college sports that's going to change the whole landscape. We might do it Monday. I don't know. Have a good weekend, everybody. So he didn't do that today. They think that might not bring it up next week, but it was the last emergency thing. They said, wait, he could do it Monday, okay? But what I'm telling you is it is on life support. It is hitting a wall. I think there's good points in this. I think there is a salary cap that you need. I think there is limited transfers that you need. I like those are the two main things for me. The pooling media rights and some of the stuff that you really get into the details, that's for them to iron out, and the lobbyists and the lawyers and the conferences. I mean, there's stuff in here that people want, I'm sure, but those are the two big ones. And guess what? The Big Ten and the SEC do not want to be capped, meaning they don't want a salary cap at all. They do not want a salary cap at all. So they want Ohio State to be able to spend this much, and Iowa's just going to be stuck on this much. And to me, guys, you can't have that. So here's a line. Somebody said as they were negotiating this. This is a story in The Athletic today. Here's the line. Let's see. I want to make sure I have this. Okay. Wait. Here's the quote. Wait. You're saying the federal government would regulate how much money Penn State can spend on its football roster? The response. Is this utterly bizarre? The reply. Yes, it is. Hang on a second. Is that bizarre to you? I'm just telling you, the federal government can't tell Penn State how much to spend on their football roster. This is a federal law. Who can tell Penn State how much they can spend? Who can tell them that? Nobody. The NCAA's tried to tell them that. They get sued, their pants off, and they can't tell them squat. So everybody cried, and they wanted to go to the federal government. We need a federal law. We got to have it. And now even the big boys don't want to be capped because they're spending $50 million. By next year, this thing's going to be at $60 to $70 million. There's going to be 70 million rosters by next year. I mean, are we crazy? Speaking of bizarre, I mean, this is absolutely bonkers. No cap. There's free agency, constant. I mean, the structure right now, so we keep saying this Protect College Sports Act. Well, they're just trying to do too much. That just shows you Congress, they mess stuff up. Yeah, they do. But how are you going to get a regulation on this? Aren't there most of these universities in this supported by taxpayers, supported by states? So we can't have some responsibility and regulations on how much they spend on their football roster? Yeah, I think we can. I mean, these guys, everybody's, we can't do that. That's no good. And so they also say if the Big Ten and the SEC aren't for this today, that's just not going to work. So let me ask you that. If the Big Ten and SEC aren't for the Protect College Sports Act, John Thune doesn't bring it up for a vote next week, do you think you have to have the Big Ten and the SEC? That's what people have argued about today. You have to have the Big Ten and the SEC on this, otherwise it's not going to work. And I say, why? This is a federal law. You think everybody likes the federal laws? Every company, every person, every group? Federal law, they're trying to get some regulations, trying to get some measures in place that even the playing field and have competitive parity. And so we have college sports that don't go out of control, 70 million rosters next year. So, by the way, they have had some negotiations that are positive. Do you guys even know the amount of money that the salary cap would be for each college football team, for example? Do you even know how much that would be? In the first iteration of this, it was $20.5 million. So people said, well, that's crazy. Ohio State, Michigan, these guys, they're spending more than that right now. We got to get this number up. They actually revised this in the bill right now. They took it from 20.5 up to $45 million a year. So don't let these guys whine and throw you off on this. The colleges are acting like, oh my gosh, we're just getting our hands tied. Texas Longhorns, they're never going to be able to make it. They're getting $45 million. That's in here. The Big Ten negotiated it. We got to have a higher cap. They said, how about $45 million a year? Is that going to work? And by the way, let's cut out $5 million for women's sports only. That's also in here because they're talking about, hey, what about the women's side of this? So they're saying $45 million, $5 million for women's sports at college, and we're still crying today. I'm here to tell you, I understand people say it's too convoluted, it's too, they're going too much here. Well, no. Anything you try to get done, there's going to be upset parties. And if the Big Ten and SEC are a little upset today, that means the measure's pretty good. You're hitting it right. You're right over the target. Right over the target. But now I look at what's next for this. So next Friday is the August recess. And then, the Senators head home for a month. Then we're into college football, and this puppy's over. So stay tuned. We'll be back on this show on Monday. See where Senator John Thune, if he did whatever he needs to do to bring it up for a vote. But I have a feeling in Big Ten and SEC country, the Senators are getting scared. They're saying, I can't vote for this. That's what the story in The Athletic pointed out today. If my school, if my AD, if my president's not in on this, if it's going to hurt the SEC or the Big Ten, I'm not going to vote for this. So I think we're in trouble. So my point of the story, where we're at, that's a good synopsis here for you, where we're at in college sports. We'll see if it comes up for a vote. They got 1 week left for the August recess. That's a month. They're gone. And then Senators, all the work that's been done by Cruz and Cantwell here, Republican and Democrat, they all have done bipartisan stuff. All that stuff's going to be gone. Just forget about it. So I'm telling you, we cannot now come back and whine next year and in the offseason and people send in texts and calls on the program, which I'm with you, but we can't do it anymore saying, I can't believe this team spends $70 million and Iowa's trying to compete with that. Nebraska's trying to compete with that. They aren't going to be able to compete. Nebraska has a lot of money. Huskers have a lot of money. They don't have Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame money. They have a lot of money, but Iowa State's going to barely survive. Jimmy out there, Jimmy Rogers at Iowa State, they're going to have to scratch to survive. The cap is $45 million. That's what they negotiated a year to pay the athletes. Can you believe the strides we've taken? They say $45 million. Is that good? No, it's still not good. They just want it unlimited, and they want to add whoever they want to add whenever. It's like, hey, we're thinking we might add Texas Tech here. They kind of got a lot of money. They're kind of taking it serious. Let's put them in the SEC too. Got to put some rules in place. Got to put some of this in place. And we are running out of time. Running out of time. All right. Very interesting. They worked on it. They got it up to $45 million a year payments to the athletes. and we're almost dead. Almost dead. Brian Noe is coming up. John Brice is coming up. We'll dig into this. John's an expert on it. He's been covering the Protect College Sports Act, college football writer for USA Today. First, we'll go Brian Noe, Fox Sports Radio national host, as we're getting started on a Thursday.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Keep cool this summer when you shop ceiling fans at Menards. Upgrade your space with a quick install ceiling fan from Patriot Lighting. They're loaded with extra features that will make your ceiling fan install a breeze. Plus, they reduce energy costs, helping you save time and money. Save big on our great selection of ceiling fans. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Sagging, bouncing, or uneven floors? Call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Standing water or high humidity? Nasty odors or dangerous mold? Call Blackburn. Critters, bugs, or other pests? That's right, call Blackburn. It's a fact. Crawl space problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Call Blackburn Foundation Repair today.
Whether you're a pro or a Joe, a weekend warrior or a gardening great, Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here when you need us. Nobody plans an injury, but when people throughout the Black Hills and beyond suffer a setback, Monument Health Orthopedics is here to provide comprehensive medical care. Our team of board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists is dedicated to helping patients regain the quality of life they've lost due to an injury, arthritis, or joint wear and tear. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for everyday athletes like you.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Chance of thunderstorms this afternoon, otherwise sunshine mixed with clouds at times. High temperatures reach up to 89. Winds out of the north 10 to 20 miles per hour. Slight chance of thunderstorms. Tonight, lows level off around 64, mainly clear skies. High of 90 tomorrow, mainly clear skies. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 83 degrees.
If you're a business owner, you've invested your blood, sweat, and tears into your business. Long days, sleepless nights, all to build something that matters. But what if something happened to you tomorrow? What happens to everything you've built? Do you have a plan? Does your family have a plan? Contact Lee Cruz with New York Life right here in Rapid City. There are affordable options you maybe haven't considered. Just spend 15 minutes protecting what took you years to build. Call Lee Cruz, 605-360-8804, or Google Lee Cruz New York Live.
Take your Deadwood stay to the next level at Tin Lizzie Gaming Resort. Choose Hampton by Hilton or 4 Points by Sheridan, both just steps from the Main Street action. Then play in our 24/7 casino, bet every buzzer beater at the BetMGM Sportsbook, and taste your way through 6 unique dining options. With non-stop events, next-level casino promotions, and everything under one roof on historic Main Street, plan your getaway at tinlizzie.com, where your getaway goes to the next level.
Certified Honda value has never looked better at Denny Manor Rushmore Honda. Take advantage of 1.99% APR financing on select Honda certified pre-owned. Choose from Honda Civics, Accords, HRVs, and CRVs. That's 1.99% APR financing on our Honda certified pre-owned. Shop a huge selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs with over 370 to choose from. Drive with certified confidence at Denny Manor Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com. The finance contract is limited with qualified credit. Expires 7/31/26.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Well, some interesting stuff happening in the college sports world today. Big stuff, and it's like under the radar. None of these Fox Sports Radio guys want to talk about it because they want to talk about like what they had for lunch. But some inside joke stuff. But I love Fox Sports Radio hosts like Brian Noe because he talks ball. He talks ball, man. Here on the Nate Brown Show. Fox Sports Radio's host of Countdown. You can hear him right here. Saturday, Sunday, Countdown to Kickoff is coming up soon. And Brian Noe is on an A-list show. Brian, welcome in. How are you?
What's going on, Nate Brown? Always good to talk to you, man. And, I skipped lunch today. How about that? So we don't even need to talk about that. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'm here for you.
Okay, I'm with you. I skipped breakfast, you skipped lunch, and now we're ready to go. I want to dig into this. So this Protect College Sports Act, I don't want to get into the weeds. We're not experts here. We're not experts. But they're trying to handle a lot of stuff for college sports. A salary cap on NIL per program. They negotiated from $21 million to $45 million. They took that up to $45 million a year. Still not good enough. Ohio State, Texas, and these teams, they want more. They transfer thing. People don't like people transferring all the time, but they're not so sure. They included that in the bill. And here's what I'm asking. Somebody said in the negotiations, can the federal government tell Penn State how much they can spend on their football roster? Is that utterly bizarre? And I said, well, who's going to tell them how much they can spend then? I mean, where are we at here?
Yeah, it's just we're in the wild, wild, wild west, and it's like we're trying to get some sort of, rules and regulations. A couple of laws might not hurt. That's where we're at. But it's really just a free-for-all where it's like, okay, it's suggested that you can't do this, but there's not really a consequence if you do it. That's happening all over the college landscape. So this is just kind of the beginning of some sort of system that has a bit of structure, because it's completely lacking structure right now. I'd totally be fine with a salary cap. I think that should be a part of college football.
Okay.
Should be a part of college sports. You know how I feel about MLB. I think it's ridiculous they don't have a salary cap, and we're talking about the Dodgers possibly adding Tarek Skubal. It's like, what are we doing right now? This is just dumb. I don't want college sports to resemble that. And so if there is a salary cap in place, if you're allowed to punish a player and not, risk it going to a local judge and it being overturned, like, we have to have a bit of structure. So I'm not against the baby steps of that taking place.
Okay, so the structure, the system we're in right now, they're saying roster numbers by next year with no cap or anything, if this bill doesn't even get voted on, could hit like 70 million next year. 70 million. They've gone from like Ohio State a couple of years ago was at 20 million, and people thought, man, that's huge. That's unbelievable. It's going to be 70 million next year. So how can Ohio State be at 70 million and Purdue is at who knows what? It's not even close, and they're in the same conference. I can't have it.
I can't either, Nate. We're in the same foxhole on this one, and it's the same thing, just to a greater scale with MLB. I don't want to, cross swords or anything when it comes to that, but it's ridiculous that the Dodgers have the payroll they have, and then the bottom feeders in their own division don't have even close to that. So I'm for salary caps. I think it works great in the NFL. You have real parity, and I don't want it to be so much more. We argued about this forever in college football. It's the haves and the have-nots. To a degree, it's going to remain that way always. But it's so much more magnified when you're talking about paying the players legally now. And you've got, some of these schools have deep pockets, seemingly like endless streams of money, and they're in the same conference as these other schools that they don't have the same pocketbook. They don't have the same resources, and we're in the same conference on the same field. It's so ridiculous, man. It should not be that slanted, and that's exactly what it is right now.
Okay, so the big deal on this, Senator John Thune is from South Dakota. He's the majority leader. He's the guy who brings things up for a vote. He didn't bring it up today for next week. They only got 1 week left, and then they leave for a month. It's a good gig, Brian. You should try it. They get to leave for a month, but they only got 1 week left. They're saying if the Big Ten and SEC aren't on board with this bill, and they aren't, then we just can't do it. That's what many of the senators are saying. If the Big Ten and SEC aren't supporting this, we just can't do it. And I say, why? I mean, you have to. That tells me you must be right on target if they don't love it.
Yeah, well, that's the problem, Nate, is, a lot of these conferences are just looking out for themselves. It's sad what the college landscape has turned into. because it self-serves the Big Ten to have 24 teams in the college football playoff, and it self-serves the SEC to have this little tweak and this little thing in their favor. And it's just like a lot of these conferences, a lot of these, head honchos, they're just looking out for number one. And I would argue it should be the college landscape as a whole, but that's not their definition of it. Their definition is my conference, what's good for us. It's just like that's what's throwing this whole thing out of whack. So, yeah, until you sort of break that and you make them follow suit, until that happens, they're still going to keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. It's like a kid who's telling their parents, like, no, I'm not going to do my homework. I'm going to eat ice cream before bed. You can't tell me not to. And they're just going to keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And that's what college sports is right now.
Brian Noah's on tonight. Protect College Sports Act on the brink of nothing. We'll see if it gets brought up on Monday. They got 1 week left before to get it done before they head out. Brian Noah on Fox Sports Radio, national host. Let's go to NFL training camp. Just a couple of headlines I want your read on. If you're the Raiders in Las Vegas, would you start Kirk Cousins because Mendoza needs to learn and he'll be better because of it? Or do you got to throw Mendoza in with some of the young guys now and let's get going?
No, I would absolutely start Kirk Cousins. I would not start Mendoza week one for a couple of reasons, Nate. It's if you look back to last season, I think this is very similar to Tyler Shuck with the Saints. If you look at, he didn't start the first 8 games. That was Spencer Rattler. And Rattler went 1-7, and then Tyler Shuck took over. And he didn't set the NFL world on fire. He threw 10 touchdown passes and 6 interceptions. That's what Tyler Shuck did as a rookie. But this offseason, Nate, it's like we're toasting to Tyler Shuck. I hear these shows, they're like, I'm expecting big things from Tyler Shuck. I've got some MVP money on him. I'm like, whoa, holy cow, what's happening? Some people are expecting the Saints to take a big step forward. And a lot of that is, and it'll tie back to the Raiders. You got to trust me on this one, Nate. A lot of that is you're looking at Tyler Shuck in a different light, right? You're looking at what he did well instead of what he's not doing well. It looked like an improvement compared to where the Saints were with Rattler to where they are. They won 4 games in a row down the stretch. 2 of those wins were against the Jets and the Titans. No one cares. It's just like it just lands completely differently. And I think it's the same formula for the Raiders. If you start Kirk Cousins and you take your early lumps, the first part of the schedule is difficult, Nate. You look at some of these teams that they have at the Chargers, Chiefs, at the Patriots, Bills, Rams. Those are all games within the first 7 weeks. So I think you start Kirk Cousins. You're probably going to take your lumps. You're going to lose a handful of games. You might be 1-6, 2-5 after the first 7 games. That's where you get Mendoza in there. He's not thrown to the wolves right away. If the Raiders struggle and lose some games, and then Mendoza takes over, it's the same thing with Shuck. You're looking at, hey, what Mendoza is doing well. The team looks better. They're competing in games. They're winning games. It just lands differently. So I would absolutely start Kirk and ease Mendoza in. There's no rush. If he sits the first 7 games, if he's healthy from there on out, he starts 10 games. That's plenty as a rookie. So I would totally sit him to start the season.
What a take. What an argument. Brian Noe bringing it tonight from Las Vegas, by the way, national host of Fox Sports Radio's Countdown. So you go Kirk Cousins. By the way, you may want to check the warm-up today. I was watching the Raiders warm-up, and they were running lines to warm up. He's not moving too well. Boy, oh boy. Anyway, so it'll be interesting. He's not fast as it is. He's not moving well these days. Okay, who's under the most pressure this year to go deep? Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, or Joe Burrow to go deep?
That's a great question. I would say that, wow. I'm going to go Josh Allen. You could make a great argument for all 3. I'm going to say it's Josh Allen because he ascended in the ESPN poll to the number 1 quarterback in the league, right, Nate? So that there comes pressure with that. Pressure comes with that. Expectations come with that. They haven't even been to a Super Bowl yet. It's a brand new stadium. It's like brand new head coach. It's like, all right, Josh, let's go. It's go time, buddy. Let's see if you can win this AFC, get to the Super Bowl at least. So I think that the expectations for him are the highest right now. And so that's where I say that's where the most pressure will be. It always comes with expectations. I think you can make a great argument for Joe Burrow, where if it doesn't work out this season, Nate, they've been 9-8, scuffling, a barely above 500 team for a while now. If they don't take a big step forward, I don't know if Joe Burrow is going to remain there. So there's a lot on the line for the Bengals and Burrow this season. Not only to produce, but for Burrow to stay upright and healthy and make it through 16, 17 games this season. He's fallen drastically short in 3 of his seasons so far. So I love Burrow, but he's just not available enough. And we'll see if the Bengals defense can take a step forward, if they can finally take a step forward. I tell you what, man, there's not a team that has gotten more slack, right? It bought them more slack after getting to a Super Bowl than the Bengals. They got to a Super Bowl 4 seasons ago, Nate, right? Like the last 3 seasons, 9-8, 9-8, 6-11. Totally unacceptable. And this offseason is nothing more than, look out for the Bengals. Like, wake me when I actually do need to look out for the Bengals, because they always underperform. And this year might not be any different. So we'll see. I'm just a total non-believer in the Bengals, and until they prove me wrong, man, I'll fade them all day long.
Joe Burrow's had some injuries. We do know that. He's had some injuries. We'll see if Joe can get back on track. I do want to ask you, Eric Williams from FoxSports.com was on the show, and I asked him, which is the best division in football? He went NFC West, Seahawks, Rams, 49ers. He said, yeah, the Cardinals too, but Seahawks, Rams, 49ers, NFC West, best division. And I said, not the NFC North. What's Brian No say?
It depends what you look for, Nate. If you're looking for depth, if you're looking at quality, in all 4 teams, it's the NFC North. If you're looking for, top end, explosive possibility, it's kind of like an NFL wide receiver, The NFC West has that type of firepower. I would argue they have more firepower in terms of teams that could challenge to win it all. I love the Rams. The Seahawks are defending champs. Those teams have legitimate Super Bowl capability right there. Who are the teams in the NFC North that are legitimate Super Bowl capable contenders? I would say it's the Lions, and I would stop the list right there.
Oh.
I don't think that the Bears are legitimate Super Bowl contenders. They had 6 wins, Nate, coming from behind in the final 2 minutes last season. That is the definition of unsustainable. Are you going all in on the Packers or the Vikings? I'm not. So I don't think that the NFC North has the same type of Super Bowl punch and capability that the NFC West has. So if you're looking more for Super Bowl punch, I would say the NFC West is your division. If you're looking for quality top to bottom, then yeah, I would go with the NFC North. It just depends on what you value more.
Top shelf stuff from Brian No tonight on the Nate Brown Show here in South Dakota on Fox Sports Radio. Last one, we were looking at the Madden football ratings. Sam Darnold has some number 1 rankings. I mean, I'm not going to go through every single thing, but like passing and stuff. He's got some number 1 ratings in the NFL on Madden football. What do you have to say for yourself?
Wow. Okay, so what, like vision or, I don't know, reading a defense, or I don't know what he's number 1 in, but we're ranking all the quarterbacks, and among all the quarterbacks in these certain traits, they've got him number 1.
Yes,
huh?
Passing. Deep.
Just passing in general.
Deep balls.
Deep balls. Okay, well, I saw him miss Jackson Smith and Jigba by about 20 yards in the Super Bowl. I would question that one.
Come on.
I don't know what we're doing, Nate. Like, people are, this is the thing, all right? Little spiel on Sammy Darnold, if you will. Sam Darnold's expectations were in the toilet, okay? And now, to his credit, the last 2 seasons, he's greatly exceeded those. He did great with Minnesota for most of the season until the final 2 games, and he wet himself.
Oh.
But then this last season against Seattle, he played really well. He had a good season. But the thing is, Sam Darnold, because the expectations were so low, It's like the hurdles, right? Picture a guy on the track jumping the hurdles. The hurdle for Sam Darnold was like a third of that size. And he cleared that hurdle, and it's like, whoa, look at Darnold right now. No, like at the end of the day, Darnold last season, 25 touchdown passes, 14 interceptions. It's okay. I mean, it's fine. It's not anything extraordinary. It's not like, whoa, he is carving up the NFL. It's just that the expectations were so low for the guy that it appears like he's doing way more than he actually is. That's what's happening with Sam Darnold.
What about,
I'm not calling him a hack. I just think people are way too easily impressed because they didn't expect half of what they should have from the guy.
Well, instead of jumping the hurdle, how about lifting that Super Bowl trophy? Was that pretty good, or?
That was fine, but it pays to have a great defense and a running game that can carry you to a Super Bowl. That's exactly what happened against the Patriots. He did nothing in that game.
That's great. That is a great way to wrap it up. And I got him. Brian Noe is on tonight. Fox Sports Radio from Las Vegas. Countdown is the show. Saturday, Sunday. Football season's here. It is here. Brian, good to have you, man. Thanks.
Hey, always good hanging with you, Nate. And look up the audio of Sam Darnold being bummed about winning the Super Bowl when he didn't play great. Even he thinks he didn't play great.
He's tough. Tough critic. Brian Noe on tonight. I just had to get the Sam Darnold Madden rating in there. It's good stuff. Brian Noe from Fox Sports Radio, live from Las Vegas. Good start to the program. Yeah, what is it? He doesn't like Sam, and then, I don't know, there's somebody else. I don't know. But I like Sam, and I like Kyler Murray. I mean, where are you guys at? If the Vikings would have kept Sam, might have been okay, huh? Now we're going with Kyler. I'm ready, and you guys are a little iffy still. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show, John Brice. Let's put a cap on the Protect College Sports Act. Will we get it done? It's monumental. John Brice has been covering it. Capitol Hill, usatoday.com coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Santa came early. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Christmas in July event is so great, even Santa's shocked to the savings. Get 20% off plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. Pay nothing until 2028. Renewals Acclaim and Ensemble lines are the best of the best. Santa's not waiting till December to get new windows and doors. Neither should you. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on tonight. Fox Sports Radio, KWSN, Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. Matt Zimmer's coming up, SiouxFallsLive.com. He was at Jack's camp today. He was at Yotes camp yesterday. Matt Zimmer's coming up, Sioux Falls Live. John Brice is in tonight. He was at Big Ten Media Days. And I'm going to dig into this Protect College Sports Act because John's been on this. Really good coverage from him on it. USAtoday.com, national college football writer. John, welcome in. You're out of Chicago, Big Ten Media Days in the books. How are you?
I'm good, Nate. It's always good to talk to you, and better when I'm talking to you and Chicago's in the rear view.
Okay. I want to I'm not going to hit a lot on Big Ten Media Days, but the Big Ten has a big role in this deal. So the Protect College Sports Act is, I think we're hitting a wall here. Senator John Thune from South Dakota didn't file today where he could bring it up for a vote next week. He could still do it Monday is what I see just moments ago. He could still do it Monday. They got a week left here. Give me the John Brice read. Is this thing dead?
It's not dead. I do not believe that. I think that the bill co-sponsors everyone who has worked so hard on Capitol Hill. The statement late this afternoon from NCAA President Charlie Baker and the other conferences that are already signed on, all of that, Ted Cruz and Maria Cantwell and their staffs have shoved everything to the middle of the table. They're calling the cards. They've said we've worked on this for innumerable hours, for months on months on months. This is the first bipartisan bill. This is the furthest anyone's come along. It's supported by the NBA, the NHL, the NFL, and MLB, among other entities. We're here. We've made a dozen major concessions this week, 8 of them full wholesale concessions specific to the Big Ten and the SEC. What more do you need? It's now or never.
Okay, interesting. Here's the line. Is the federal government going to tell Penn State, Ohio State, Notre Dame, they're going to tell these teams how much to spend on football? They can't tell these teams how much to do that on. What's your answer?
Yeah, I've seen that line, variations of that line. I think that's a little false. They're not telling them how much to spend. They're setting a cap that everyone wants, by the way. Everyone wants guidelines because everyone wants to feel like they're playing on the same rules and playing with the same parameters, and then it comes down to who recruits the best, who coaches the best, who prepares the best, and executes the best. So, look, they've got to this point because they can't do it themselves. They've got to this point because it's convenient to blame the NCAA, and the NCAA is nothing more than the man behind the curtain. The NCAA is constituted of its member institutions. It's not making arbitrary decisions on a scale like this. So the federal government is there because they've asked for federal government help. Every single conference in the past years, this decade, has asked for federal intervention, federal government help, guidelines. College athletics has gotten some of those through the Sports Broadcasting Act in previous years, antitrust exemptions. All of those things have in some ways benefited NCAA and college athletics and its membership through the years. So to act like, oh, well, now they're trying to get the government involved. Well, no, the government's been involved in some level. Now it's just they can't do it themselves. They don't want to make the rules because then they think it'll get used against them in recruiting. They don't want to obey by the rules that they do make and adopt, and it's them making it the member schools. And so now they're at this point where if there's not government intervention, I don't know that there's college athletics in a decade.
John Brice on tonight, usatoday.com. Follow him at John D. Brice 1. Find him at usatoday.com. Great coverage on the Protect College Sports Act. It's being held up. I mean, they got short amount of time here. Recess is next Friday. John Thune may try and bring it up Monday. Didn't do it today. May try and do it Monday. They're trying to vote on this potentially. So here's the revised bill, John. I saw this, and this was from the Big Ten. They got the cap up to $45 million combined per year. So that's like the NIL cap. You want to say $45 million. I mean, we went from like 20 and a half. So they're like, yeah, let's get up to $45 million. Is that not enough for paying players?
Yeah, and it's really closer to $50 million because there's a provision in there that would allow participating schools to use an additional $5 million on explicitly on women's sports,
yes,
and it would be a carve out that wouldn't cut against it. So really, by the time this could be enacted, would be year 3 of the House settlement. So if this went into effect in the fall of 27 for the 27-28 year of competition, then by that point in time, the original rev share dollar figure would be close to $23 million. You add up to $25 million onto that, you're way closer to $50 million than anything. And I'm with you. There's already a bunch of rosters. The most expensive rosters in the sport right now are right at $50 million, a couple of $1 million above, according to general managers in college football. So you would think that would be enough, especially with some of the other concessions, which include, schools can now create NIL opportunities, and they don't have to pass the business standard test. And so that's another way of saying, give us this one hard cap because we're going to create all this gray space anyway, but at least if we create all this gray space, in theory, it will be out there. Like IMG properties or Learfield properties might overpay in a market, but they don't have unlimited funds, and they're not going to do things off the books or that are against state or federal laws. And so these concessions, based on my reading and understanding, and I'm just a feeble-minded sports writer, but these concessions provide a pathway to $45 to $50 million in real money on the books, and then gray area for NIL that would still be on the books, but not count against that $45 to $50 million.
It's a lot of money. I think it would help people across the board. I'm for this. I've been for this, but people say this, John. They say, well, this bill just tried to do too much. Should have just done the transfer thing, or should have just done the NIL thing. Probably not, but don't pool the media rights for the smaller conferences. Don't cap the power memberships. They said they tried to do too much here. What do you say?
I would disagree with that because the parameters for the House settlement, I mean, the government, again, has already been involved. The legal system's already been involved. That's how the House settlement came to be. And so I disagree with that. Yeah, it was a little unwieldy. It didn't need to be 155 pages or whatever it was in its original iteration earlier this year. But these are all the issues. And so if you're going to tackle it and there are things important to both sides, the only way you could get it to be a bipartisan sponsored bill that initially had 2 senators sponsoring it and now has 4 from the states of Missouri, Texas, Washington, and Delaware was to give to issues important to both sides. And there's no collective bargaining in there by design because that's a hugely contentious subject for the Democratic Party. They want it in there. They want college athletes to be employees. Conservatives want it to be more of a free market system. So they left that out. But there are capitulations, I would say, for each side of the aisle, which is why it's so big, but it's also necessary to get true bipartisan support.
John Brice, usatoday.com, just wrapped up Big Ten Media Days. The Protect College Sports Act is a huge thing. We may hear more about it next week. You say it's not dead, but if they don't get this to a vote and then it's a recess for a month, I'm wondering if we got to wait a long time.
Yes, we do. I'm glad you asked that question. Here's the thing. Here's why next week is so important, not just because of the recess. But the recess also, if I'm not mistaken, Senate would not be in session again until around September 14th. I think the House returns before that, but the House can't do anything until the Senate either advances the bill or quashes the bill and they start over. But then again, I just said this on our friend Keith Kelly's show. People in the rooms, people exponentially smarter than me, people directly involved in the talks from the collegiate level, the government level, the NCAA level, what have you, football coaches that I've visited with, if they don't do something in this session, midterms are coming up in October. The belief is one of the chambers of government could shift the power dynamics, which would make the bill that much tougher to pass. Then you have a presidential election in 2 years. So that's a long-winded way of saying people that know more than me that sit in on the meetings think if nothing happens now, it will be 4 to 6 years at earliest before it could happen.
My, oh my. Big stories, covering it a lot. I'm glad you're doing it, man. I think it's huge. I think it's getting overshadowed a little bit by whatever. This is a big one. Will it get off the ground? John Thune's trying to see if this will come to a vote. He's going to see where this is at maybe Monday. John Brice, USAtoday.com. I appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Nate. You're the best. Hope you and your listeners have a great weekend.
Thanks a lot. You can do the same. John Brice, fresh out of Chicago at Big Ten Media Days and Protect College Sports Act. You didn't think you'd get that on a Thursday, July 30th. It's like, what? Yeah, this is a big this is the big shift in college sports. Any regulation, any rules, any on transfers, on NIL payments, on anything. This is it. And otherwise, you're going to hear coaches and ADs and everybody whining some more for the next 4 years. We should have this, we should have that. Well, we had it, and then you guys killed it because you whine about everything. Well, this isn't right. This isn't good for us. If the Big Ten and SEC aren't 100% on board, that's probably means you're good for the college sports landscape. Probably means you're pretty close. Matt Zimmer, SiouxFallsLive.com. An update on the Yotes. He was at practice yesterday. Update on the Jacks. He was at practice today. Zimmer coming up.
This is South Dakota's sports.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Santa came early. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Christmas in July event is so great, even Santa's shocked at the savings. Get 20% off plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. Pay nothing until 2028. Renewals Acclaim and Ensemble lines are the best of the best. Santa's not waiting till December to get new windows and doors. Neither should you. Call today or visit RVARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps 1 minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
We are live on Fox Sports Radio, our affiliates, Fox Sports Rapid City and KWSN Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Great stations. Thanks for listening, making this show possible. We appreciate you. Great guest lineup to get us here. Brian Noe, Fox Sports Radio national host and A-lister. John Brice, outstanding college football writer, USA Today, on the Protect College Sports Act, which is just grinding. It's like swimming through oatmeal. John Thune needs to bring it up for a vote. He didn't do that today. Like the last chance of that is like Monday. So any regulation, any rules on transfers, on NIL salary cap, on any of that, it impacts SDSU, USD, the whole thing. That dies next week is how it sounds if they don't get this. So then everybody will whine and continue to whine about transfers and the Wild West and the money. Matt Zimmer's, I want to know where Matt stands on this. SiouxFallsLive.com. He went to Yotes practice yesterday, by the way. 2 days ago. Jack's today, Yotes yesterday, and now he's at like flag football practice. Man, this guy's all over the place. Matt, how's it going tonight?
I'm good, Nate. How are you?
I'm good. Flag football. We learning the game tonight? Is that what's going on?
My son's learning the game, yeah. We'll sign him up for his first season of flag football. He had just got done with Little League Baseball, and he's out here playing catch with his teammates. And
all right,
let's just say they are starting at square one. I did not envy their coach.
Okay, I like it. Good way to learn. I like the flag football side. Okay, I'm going to get into this Protect College Sports Act. You haven't done a deep dive or anything like this, but here's the deal. They're trying to do a salary cap on the big guys. They're trying to do transfer rule on everybody. A one-time transfer you get, and that's it. They're trying to get the mid-major conferences to pool their media rights so they can get better media money to even the playing field. So there's this stuff in here. My pillars are NIL salary cap and the transfers. I don't know if they're going to get it. It sounds like it's going to be rough. Does Matt Zimmer think college sports needs rules and regulations from the federal government, or are we just lights out, it's over?
I don't know. I'm a little on the fence. I do think they need to do something. I just don't think college athletics as it's set up right now is sustainable. But it obviously feels like sort of a Pandora's box has been opened, and putting everything back in the box is looking pretty difficult. Asking the federal government seems like a not great idea, but I don't know what other options there are. I like some of these proposals. I actually think the Save College Sports Act is pretty decent. When I saw what was in it, I kind of thought, I think that's on the right track. It's probably not perfect. It probably won't solve all the problems, but I think it's, kind of got its heart in the right place, so to speak. It's going in the right direction. But I just think there are so many lawyers out there who are trying to ensure that, everyone gets as much money as they can. And when everyone's, talking about, everyone has a right to make money, and then make money, you can't, stop people from making money. I just think that is going to make it really difficult for anything to pass and then survive any legal challenges. So I'm watching like everybody else saying, okay, what's going to happen? And even after it if it were to pass, I still don't think that means, okay, now everything is safe. Now we're out of the woods, because there's just going to be legal challenge after legal challenge after legal challenge.
So I've had listeners text in, because my argument is I can't have Ohio State at $50 million payment per year and Purdue at 10. I mean, it's just they're in the same conference. And so they said, well, what would you say about SDSU? What would you cap SDSU at a number at the FCS level? Do they have to be at a cap compared to Murray State? How do you see that?
I don't know. I mean, I agree with you. That's the problem. I think now you've got a situation where, if players can make so much money that they don't even want to go pro, they want to stay in college and keep, because we've heard, some of the people who are on the other side of it who want to keep pushing this professional model have said, like, well, what's to even tell kids they can only go to college for 4 or 5 years? We hear about this 5 for 5 thing. I've heard some lawyers say it's a professional league now. Why can't Matt Zimmer play 15 years at Ohio State at quarterback? It's just another professional league now. Who's to limit? It's all about this, you can't limit people's, ability to make money and everything. And so there's the team side of it that you're talking about with, how can you have Ohio State and Texas making all this money and paying all this money, and then having peers in their own league that aren't even anywhere near that. And then these athletic departments essentially just become professional sports franchises, and they're still sort of tied to institutions of higher learning. I mean, it makes your head hurt thinking about all the different facets to this. So, like I said, I'm not really getting too emotionally invested in it or even paying that much attention to what's in these things, because I'm just kind of like, you know what? Let me know what the rules are after everything is said and done and the smoke clears. But like I said, the smoke will never really clear, because even after something gets passed, it's going to get tied up in the courts forever. Yeah, I'm with you on that. That is a factor people throw around. Matt Zimmer on tonight, SiouxFallsLive.com. Let's go to the Yotes. Let's go to the Jacks. So I've got a question of the day. I don't know if you've answered this before. One FBS question. Let's say South Dakota State. They're ahead in revenue. They're ahead in facilities. They're ahead as an institution, as an athletic department. So they're ahead from USD, and people can admit that. They might get, hey, what if they get an FBS invite over the next couple of years? Do you see SDSU going, and it doesn't matter about USD? Can one go and not the other is my question of the day. Yes. They can and they would. That's my opinion. I haven't been told that by Justin Sell or Barry Dunn or Dan Jackson or anything like that. But I don't think SDSU, I could be wrong, I don't think they're actively pursuing FBS right now. They're aware of everything that's going on. NDSU moving has certainly, changed their landscape and maybe changed their time frame. I think they're going to go eventually. That seems like something everyone just sort of agrees is going to eventually happen. I don't think they're seeking it out right now. They could be behind the scenes, because, NDSU did all their stuff behind the scenes and no one really knew about it. Same thing could be happening there. I don't think they are yet. But having said that, if the Mountain West or the MAC called them today and said, hey, you know what, we decided we want another team and we want to invite you, they would take it. That's my opinion. I think they would take it and figure it out. Okay, you were at Yotes practice yesterday. My big question, they have a great running back room. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think they're going to be really good there. My big question, what's the story at QB? Yeah, I know you were there one day. Are they going to have a competition quite a long time here? No, not really. Doesn't sound like it. They have 3 guys competing, 2 seniors. One of them is a transfer who came in from Northern Illinois. The other one, Nevin Cremascoli, has been Aiden Bauman's backup for a couple years. Then they have a redshirt freshman, Austin Majetsky, that is the younger guy, but he's really talented. He's kind of a quarterback of the future type. So it's between those 3. And yes, it's a competition right now, but Matt Vitzum told me within 4 or 5 practices, they will have a guy that have been necessarily said, okay, this is our day 1 starter, but they're going to go with him for the next few practices after that as the number 1. He will start taking all the reps as the guy. So these first 3, 4, 5 practices are extremely important. One guy is going to get, like I said, not picked as the starter, but said, okay, we're going to go with you for a while, see how it goes. And if that guy runs with it, that guy's going to be the quarterback. All right, one more on the Jacks. You just wrapped up today. Chase Mason is the story. People say, is he one of the best quarterbacks in the country? We've only seen a small sample size. So can we know that? I think everything he did last year put him on the path because he had never really done it. You know, he had been a great high school quarterback, a great baseball player, and he was a great utility player for the Jacks. They used him at running back, tight end, wide receiver, backup quarterback, running quarterback, you know, all that stuff. He did great at all that. Last year was the first time he was running the offense. He was QB1. He was the every down guy, and he had a great year. Got hurt, obviously, and that threw a wrench into it, but I think he passed every test with flying colors, and now he's got one more year to come back, and, you know, A, they want to win a national championship, but B, like you were alluding to, is he one of the best in the entire country, you know, FCS or FBS? Is he an early round draft pick? A lot of people think he could be, and he could be. I mean, he's got measurables. He's got talent that stacks up with anyone in the country. You know, Keighron DeBoer told me when he was at Washington, he could play for me. He recruited him. So he's got those abilities, those tangibles. We'll just have to see how he produces this year because you never really know what NFL teams want out of a quarterback. The college football season starts, and there's 3, 4, 5 guys that are in the mock drafts as these are going to be the first few quarterbacks taken, and then by the end of the season, that list looks completely different. Those 5 guys end up going in the 6th or 7th round, and 5 guys nobody was talking about in August are the ones who end up getting taken early in the draft. So it's going to depend on how his season goes.
We're going to get ready for Northwestern. This is going to be big. Going to be fun. We'll talk to Matt Zimmer again. Camp just underway for the Jackson Yotes. Matt Zimmer, SiouxFallsLive.com. He'll be all over it. Matt, always appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
You bet. See you, Nate.
See you. Matt Zimmer, SiouxFallsLive.com. From Yotes camp yesterday to Jacks practice today. Good update from Zim. Find him on X at Matt J. Zimmer. The Nate Brown Show live, Fox Sports Radio. We told you it was going to be a great Thursday show. Rob Keighron going to add his pizzazz. Thursday happy hour next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
The following radio ad is good fun squad approved.
My name is Jenny, and I'm the lady at the South Dakota Lottery who writes out those big checks for our winners. It's a lot of fun, but we've had so many big winners lately, my hand is tired. There was a $600,000 winner, a $2 million winner, a $4 million winner. That's a lot of zeros, and not normal zeros, big check zeros, and the winning never stops. That's why I'm learning to write with both hands.
Good fun.
Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
At Dakota Bank, we're more than just a place to bank. We're your neighbors. From everyday banking to home mortgages, insurance, and trust services, we're here for every step of your financial journey. We believe in doing what's right for you because we live here, work here, and care about our communities just like you do. Go with confidence, go with trust, go with Dakota Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Insurance and investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, and have no bank guarantee.
Are you looking for your next truck or SUV? Spearfish Motors has you covered. Last month, we traded for a great selection of quality pre-owned trucks, priced to fit every budget. Shopping for an SUV? Check out a great selection, every size, every style, and every price point, and all priced under market. Every pre-owned vehicle here is locally sourced, backed by the team you know and trust, and ready for your next adventure. Call, click, or stop by Spearfish GMC Cadillac today, or shop 24/7 at spearfishmotors.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Are you ready to feel good in your skin? Visit the dermatology experts at Sanford Health Tower Road Clinic in Rapid City. Our growing team offers skin, hair, and nail care close to home. Here you have access to acne treatments, Botox, and laser therapy. You can also trust our experts to help you manage skin cancer screenings and treatments. It's total skincare personalized for you. Schedule a skin cancer screening or learn more about our services at sanfordhealth.org.
This isn't just the sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table. It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely, and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger?
Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
I'm with Brian at Anytime Auto Sales. Time to be getting your car in tip-top shape for the summer months.
Yes, it is. Let's make sure your vehicles are ready to handle the warm months ahead.
Being a AAA and ASC certified shop, I know you guys are well equipped to do just that.
Justin and our techs have all the experience you need in diagnosing and repairing whatever may be ailing your vehicle.
And if finances are tight for customers, you can help there?
Yes, we can. We offer the AutoPass card, which has really been a huge help for people who are in dire need of repairs. You can get an answer in minutes right from our homepage at anytimeanytime.com. Just click on the AutoPass Apply Now button.
What a great option for those who have repairs that just can't wait.
Absolutely. It's been a fantastic opportunity for many people. Come see us today. We look forward to help you live a happy and affordable motoring life.
Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail, everybody. The place to trust. Your complete AAA and ASC certified automotive repair specialist. See anytimeanytime.com and at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
Welcome in the Nate Brown Show live, Fox Sports Radio. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show, second hour on a Thursday. We call it Thursday Happy Hour. Rob Keighron is in tonight. I told you it's an A-list show. Brian Noe, Fox Sports Radio, Matt Zimmer from South Dakota, Sioux Falls Live, and John Brice from USA Today, college football writer on the Protect College Sports Act. And then Rob Keighron caps it off with a Thursday Happy Hour. And I got to tell you, Rob, there is some stuff going on. We're going to get all caught up in the NFL and the training camp and all this stuff. And then a lot of hosts like talking about what they had for breakfast. And so that's interesting. But there is bigger things going on in sports that I need to tell people about. And I don't think you've probably done a deep dive on the College Sports Act, Protect College Sports Act. And when the listeners hear that, they're like, oh, my gosh, I mean, what are we doing? Well, the thing is, this is it. This is the monumental thing. We've never gotten ever this far. Senate bipartisan bill. We're talking trying to bring it up for a vote. Senator John Thune, he didn't do it today. His last chance, they say, to even put it on the schedule is Monday.
Yep.
And so I'm going to tell you, this is NIL salary cap. They've negotiated. They went from like $20 million to $45 to $50 million a year. Yep. A year for the Big Ten. They said, that's what we'll do. We'll have a concession. They've done the transfer thing, which people love, actually. Many people say, we don't want people transferring all over the place. You get one transfer, that's it. So there's stuff in here, and then there's a bunch of kind of pooling media rights and people that they're like, I don't know what that means. But nonetheless, SEC and Big Ten, they got concessions. They're still against it because they want to have Texas spending $60 million and somebody else in their conference spending $20 million. And they want to have that. So I'm going to ask you. This is a political free zone, but we're going to get into this. Should the federal government be able to tell Penn State how much they can spend on football? Is this a trick question? That's what the bill's telling you. We're going to have a salary cap. It's going to be $45 million. Can the federal government tell Penn State that they can only do $45 million?
Short answer is no, of course not. The federal government should not be involved. Federal government can't figure out anything in life.
Who's going to be involved in this? I'm going to stop you right there. Who's involved in this?
The NCAA has to start to find a way to organize themselves.
They're going to get sued. They get their pants sued off.
They're going to get sued one way or the other. Even if this goes through, Nate, there's going to be 100 lawsuits out of this. This is never going to go into effect.
What?
They're going to put an injunction on it because they're going to say that it is completely illegal for the federal government to step in and essentially determine for how many different universities that play college athletics? What, 200?
Yeah.
300?
Yeah.
If you count all the basketball teams that play, 300-something teams, and we're going to have the same system across the board for all 300 teams? I'm sorry, Nate, that doesn't work.
You know what doesn't work?
This is not a professional league of 32 teams. This is 300 individual universities that have different priorities and different resources.
And they're on the same field and on the same conference and they're on the same level. So Ohio State's going to go. They think if this doesn't happen and it's dead next week and then it's over because then it's the recess, it's gone. They think next year Ohio State could go to $70 million a year.
So?
and Purdue's at what, 10?
Yeah, but Purdue,
10?
It's not like, okay, Nate.
That's the Big Ten.
Wait a minute, though. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Nate. When they were playing football before they were paying college athletes, was Purdue this powerhouse? And now, no, it
You ever heard
wasn't.
of Drew Brees? You ever heard of Drew Brees?
Purdue had its moments where it'd have a year or two and be good, but Purdue wasn't a perennial great team. Ohio State was great every single year before they ever started paying college athletes. You want to make it like, well, we're going to level the playing field. You're lifting these teams up that stunk and trying to give them what's the floor? What is Purdue forced to spend?
Guess what?
$0. They're forced to spend zero.
There's going to be a floor in here. I do know the cap's going to be $45 million and then $5 million just for women's sports solely, like an extra $5 million. So you can take it up for your sports, $50 million. Most of that goes to football. Isn't that enough? I mean, the people listening to this program think $50 million for an athletic department to pay players per year is not enough?
No, Nate, it's not enough when you think about how many players are on a college football team. I mean, double the amount of an NFL team, and you're going to say for double the amount of an NFL team, the cap is going to be 1/6 of what an NFL salary cap is?
This is Jimmy Lipper.
It's not, though.
It's a
this
backup
is professional
guard.
athletics now.
It's a backup guard at Purdue. You're worried about Jimmy Lipper getting paid $250K?
I'm not worried about any of them getting paid or not getting paid. What I'm telling you is I don't think it's a great idea for the federal government to get involved. And number two, you still want it to be college athletics. You still want it to be all about the band and the students and the student section.
Yeah.
Those days are over. And while you and I both like the way college athletics was for a very long time, we have to accept that college athletics has changed forever and it will never come back. And this is the way it is.
Okay, so you've killed the bill. Hey, Senator Thune, Rob's killed the bill. You're not in charge, but...
No, but the SEC and the Big Ten are. And I think what we learned this week is that either they're going to get every concession, and they still might say no. They might get every concession they've asked for from... Because Ted Cruz, the senator from Texas, is basically the one spearheading this. They've asked him for 100, and he basically just keeps saying yes, yes, yes.
I think
and they still say they don't support it.
270 revisions.
Yeah.
270, okay? Yep. I thought some deals are hard, but 270 revisions. So I'm going to say, they say, you can't put this in place next week because the Big Ten and SEC don't like it. Well, you know what that tells me when you do a negotiation? If they don't like all of the stuff, that means you're right on target. Well, you're right on target.
I would agree with any negotiation. People should feel like that they've won and lost at the same time. But that's generally when people are equals in a negotiation. And let's be fair, there are two people at the table that have the biggest part of the table, and the rest are sitting all the way down on the other end. Let's be fair, right? It's the Big Ten, it is the SEC, and all of the stepchildren are down on the little kids table. I mean, would you disagree with that assessment?
Well, that's what we're trying to change because it's upended college sports.
But why not? We've talked about this before. Why not just take the best 30 or 40 programs, put them in a league, and put everybody else to play for something else? The American appetite for football has only increased every single year. If you think that people won't get interested in the bottom 80 or 100 teams,
I don't think they will. Not as much.
Not as much, of course not. But they're not as much right now either. Nobody thinks that most of these programs have any chance to make the college football playoff.
Okay, if you could fix one thing in college sports, because some people are arguing about this, saying, well, this bill did too much. 155 pages. Well, imagine that. But, I mean, that's how these things go. If you could fix the one thing in college sports, what are you fixing? NIL cap, you have to have spending limits, or the unlimited transfer issue.
Yeah, you hate it, but I wouldn't change either. I would not handle either of these.
You got to say the transfer issue at least.
No, if you forced me to, I would say the nil cap money, but it would be much more complicated than what they're proposing. I would actually argue that each conference would have a different cap based on the size of the universities in that conference, the kind of revenue that they bring in those conferences.
That was talked about by the Big Ten commissioner this week. He said, hey, we maybe should have a different kind of thing here for us than somebody else.
I think that would be a fair... Because if I was going to fix the nil cap thing, which I think I'd probably fix that before the unlimited transfer... And the reason I wouldn't fix the unlimited transfer is I want the athletes, the college athletes, to sign deals and then have them be enforced. If you sign, A Major League Baseball, NFL.
Who's going to enforce it? Nobody. You kick the government to the curb. The NCAA is weak. There's nobody to enforce it.
Well, the NCAA needs to get stronger and absolutely enforce. But I think the big universities absolutely would enforce it. They would file an injunction and say, you can't go play for another school. You have a deal with us. So I think you can fix that with real contracts. But okay, if you had every conference have a different cap based on, like I said, university size, revenue that comes in, TV deals that they have, and say, here's the max a team can spend in this conference, and here's the minimum. If you want to be in this conference, you have to spend this amount of money.
Okay.
I would go for that because it doesn't... What I'm against in this, Nate, is treating everyone the same. I am so tired of people wanting to be treated the same. Sure it is.
Not
You're treating Ohio State the same as you're treating Wyoming. They have the same cap. If some big guy strikes oil who's a Wyoming alum and says, "Hey, I want to go spend $100 million on my team. I want to see the days of Josh Allen again. I want us to be the best program on the planet. I'm going to put up a whole new stadium." Now they could spend, but no. It's all the same.
You're disrespecting Iowa State. Iowa State's different than Ohio State. Iowa's different than Ohio State.
That's why they shouldn't have the same cap number.
Disrespect Iowa State and Iowa. They're different. They don't have the same type of big money.
Right.
Indiana has Mark Cuban. Congrats. What a bunch of Bush League stuff that is. So you got Mark Cuban, and it makes you better than everybody. Speaking of Indiana, I've got my next question, okay? We're going to stay in college football. We're going to go, who is the number one college football coach in the country? Right off the top of our head next.
This is South Dakota's Sports.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share. To revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Santa came early. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Christmas in July event is so great, even Santa's shocked to the savings. Get 20% off plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. Pay nothing until 2028. Renewals Acclaim and Ensemble lines are the best of the best. Santa's not waiting till December to get new windows and doors. Neither should you. Call today or visit rbarapidcity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Are there as many kinds of vehicles as there are kinds of people? We think so. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people come together with all kinds of vehicles. With loans made to fit everyone and every ride.
Interviews and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show. Glad you're here tonight. Thanks for making the show possible. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show across the state. KWSN, Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. Rob Keighron's here. Thursday happy hour. Thought-provoking sports talk until you listen to Rob, and then it's just a free-for-all. It's Wild West City. I mean, you got unlimited transfers. You got unlimited money. You could have $100 million spending spree against $10 million, and you'd put them out there on the football field, and you'd call it sports.
I'm fine with that, number one, but it is provoking thought. I'll give you that at least. You have to give me that.
I like this because we're getting into this, and you're trying to tell me that everybody needs to be equal. I'm saying everybody needs to be equal.
Yes, that's what you're trying to do.
This is sports. The NFL. Everybody's equal, and you love the NFL. You love the NFL.
No, they're not equal. They have a ceiling that they can't go beyond.
It's not a salary cap.
But they don't all spend the same. No, of course it's a cap, but they don't spend the same amount of money, right? Like what you're saying is.
Yeah, I think they do.
But that's 32. You're trying to compare 32 professional teams that have shared media rights, and you're trying to impose that system on college athletics, which we don't have a shared media system.
Are you talking about the NFL, 32 teams shared, or are you talking about the Big Ten and SEC? It's the same thing.
And it will eventually it will be when those two leagues merge and form a super league, and then they will have shared media rights, and then all of these things can apply. But when there are 300 college institutions out there with all different kinds of media rights and different resources, it doesn't work. You're trying to impose an NFL system on college athletics. It doesn't work.
Okay, I mentioned Indiana because they exploded, and this is the perfect example of your deal. The best team money can buy. And then they got Mark Cuban money. Indiana just didn't come out of nowhere, okay? So they had money. Everybody acted like they were this fun little story. Poor little Indiana. They had a lot of money. And they had a nice coach, solid coach. Is Curt Cignetti the first guy that comes to your mind when I say, right now, number one current college football coach is...
Kirby Smart, not Curt Cignetti.
Come on.
Kirby Smart from Georgia.
What Georgia do last year?
Got to the semifinals. I mean, again, they lost again. The last couple times they've lost in the semis. 117-21. 117 wins in his first 10 years in the SEC as a head coach. That's the second most wins in the first 10 years. The last guy to do something like that coached in the 19th century, right? Kirby Smart has won 117 games in the SEC, the toughest conference in football, top to bottom. There's no way you could disagree with that statement. I mean, he's been in the top 7 of the AP poll at the end of the year the last 9 consecutive years. I mean, there's something to be said. And on top of all of those stats, 5 losses in the SEC since 2021. 5. The SEC, you would admit, even though you have some disdain for them, is the best football conference in America. Top to bottom.
Top to bottom.
Maybe not always right now, the last few years, maybe not always right at the top, but depth-wise, there are very few easy SEC games to play in a season. You would agree with that?
I would.
Big Ten, at least there are a couple of cupcakes, right? I mean, there are some teams that are perennially bad.
Not the Huskers, but you're not.
Well, I mean, they're average. They're perennially average.
You're not mentioning them. Okay, so if you lined them up and you said, all things equal, you would take Kirby Smart today over Cignetti, who has just taken the sport by storm and taken a program from nothing to the top.
Well, he did it, as you alluded to, not even alluded to, you said very outright, he did it with a lot of money to bring on big-time talent. I think Cignetti has done an incredible job. He had to get some talent there, but taking a team and a program that was entirely irrelevant in college football and bringing them to a level where he could be the first or second name that you think of when it comes to national championship contender, best coach in the country. So I'll give him a lot of credit, and I wouldn't have a huge problem if you said he was the number one. I am just, the last couple of years, I get your point. I am looking over the last 10 years, and a sustained level of success in the toughest conference in America, I'm going to take that guy number one. Plus, he produces more blue chip, gets more blue chip athletes, and produces more NFL talent than anybody in the country.
I will ask the listeners on this. On the text line, by the way, 605-720-1067. It's the Barron's Wilson text line. Join the conversation. Number one current college football coach. I'm not going to say Cignetti. I was throwing him out. I'm not going to say Smart. I get your take. How about Ryan Day? Ohio State, you want to talk about football factory. I mean, this guy, best players. I mean, arguably best players across the board.
Yep.
He did win a national title.
Yep.
Came up a little short. The QB's sketchy, I think, right now. But he's had really top tier, and they're untouchable in the Big Ten. You want to talk about untouchable. They only got hit by Michigan. That was his one downturn. That's the factor. But I did say, and the reason I brought this up, a college football writer told me, who's the number one coach right now? He goes, I'm doing a story on this. Who's the number one coach right now? And I said, Ryan Day. He was my first one. I didn't do any research. I go, title, winning every year, a team that's relevant every single week, Ryan Day.
Yeah, I'm not quite. I like Ryan Day a lot, and I agree with you. Perennially has these great players, develops them very well, winning culture. But again, has had this bugaboo with Michigan, right? What did they lose 4 times in a row to Michigan?
Little bugaboo.
And there are some cupcakes in that schedule that they know for sure they're going to win. I have no problem. I think it's.
Are those the top 3?
I think it's absolutely. I think
3.
you'd have to be. I think you'd have to be pretty crazy to not think the top 3 guys right now, in some order, are Cignetti, Day, and Smart. I think Smart's number 1. I'd probably put Cignetti 2 before I put Day. But
Cignetti
Day
hasn't done as long,
and that's fair. And so if you wanted to put
James
Day,
Madison, he did do James Madison too.
And if you wanted to put Day in front of Cignetti, I'd be okay with that. I have a hard time with putting him in front of Smart. Smart having 2 national titles, a little bit more level of success over the last few years. But Day is a heck of a coach. I think we're probably pulling hairs a little bit here between these 3 guys. I'm going to go with the guy in the toughest conference who has the longest level of success. But Day's a heck of a coach, and I'd take him on my program any day.
Okay, so you go Kirby Smart, I go Ryan Day. You tell us on the text line. Anybody missing? Cignetti's in I think those are my top 3. Even though Cignetti, we look at Indiana. Well, he did have James Madison, which was off the charts too. So number 1 current college football coach. Your read on the text line 605-720-1067. We'll get to those. We'll get to this next. One of my favorite guys to talk about, Kirk Cousins. You thought he was done. I was watching him warm up today. I thought I was watching Keighron there, one in line. But Kirk Cousins is back. We'll discuss next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Sagging, bouncing, or uneven floors? Call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Standing water or high humidity? Nasty odors or dangerous mold? Call Blackburn. Critters, bugs, or other pests? That's right, call Blackburn. It's a fact. Crawl space problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Call Blackburn Foundation Repair today.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Do you have constant constipation, diarrhea, or heartburn? Those symptoms aren't normal. At Sanford Health Tower Road Clinic, we can help you find lasting relief with personalized care. Our digestive health experts treat a wide range of concerns, including stomach pain, Crohn's disease, and acid reflux. We can also help with important preventive care like regular colonoscopies. Our growing team is available close to home in Rapid City, and we're accepting new patients. Visit sanfordhealth.org for total digestive care.
If you haven't been to Trav's Outfitter yet, what are you waiting for? Trav's has the largest selection of footwear anywhere. Work, Western, and casual footwear, and we dare you to compare our selection to anyone. But here's the real difference. You don't have to sell yourself a pair of shoes. Our team helps you find the right fit for your feet. Find us in the old Kmart building, Trav's Outfitter. Best selection, best service, no BS.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
What are you doing?
Just getting in the holiday spirit.
Isn't it a little early for jingle bells and Christmas in general?
It's never too early for Christmas. But Renewal by Anderson's Christmas in July sale just got me in the mood.
A window sale started all of this?
It's not just any window sale. It's Renewal by Anderson.
Okay, settle down. I'll get the ladder and we'll get started hanging the lights.
Renewal by Anderson's Christmas in July sale. 20% off every window and door. No money, no payment, and no interest for 18 months with approved credit. This means no payments till 2028. Hurry, the holiday savings end August 15th. Hassle-free, energy-efficient, low-maintenance windows with a professional fit. Renewal by Anderson uses Fibrex windows, keeping your home cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter, and reduces your energy bill. They do windows. They're the experts. No subcontractors. For a free in-home estimate and a perfect fit, go to RBARapidCity.com. That's RBARapidCity.com. Renewal by Anderson, when only the best will do.
At Dakota Discount RV, we're in it for the long haul, just like you. Whether it's cross-country adventures, weekends by the lake, or family time under the stars, we're here to keep you rolling for years to come. While others are packing up, we're doubling down with dependable service, great prices, and the biggest selection in the region. Your journey doesn't stop here, and neither do we. Here tomorrow, here for every mile ahead. Visit us in Rapid City or Somerset or online at DakotaDiscountRV.com.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
We are live, South Dakota Sports Talk Show on Fox Sports Radio, KWSN Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. Rob Keighron's getting after it tonight. I mean, I don't know if you're ready sometimes when you come in here, but then I turn on the mic and you get after it, so I'll give you credit. You're off tonight. I mean, you're off on your takes, but you're having some passion.
I mean, it's a common theme for you. Whenever I disagree with you, I'm off, and, you're the guy who wants everyone to be equals. We're all going to be the same under the Nate Brown Show.
The passion is there, okay? The Nate Brown Show is on tonight. Glad you're here. So I got to go to Raiders camp. I don't know if this is interesting to people, but there's a couple of things going here. Fernando Mendoza is the number one pick. So you have to have an interest in Mendoza. I'm a big fan. So I'm in a catch-22. I'm a Broncos guy, as you know. Hate the Raiders. I don't hate the Raiders as much as I hate the Chiefs, because the Raiders are an afterthought. You know how this goes. Like, say, you used to hate the Giants in the NFC East, but now they're just goofy. It's kind of like that.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
I'm just pointing out when they're a threat, you hate them. Chiefs are a threat. Raiders not. So I like Mendoza's going to the Raiders. I like Mendoza. Great character, great leader. I'm rooting for Mendoza. And I see my guy Kirk Cousins, who everybody threw away. He's done. I don't know. Somehow he gets a deal. And now they're saying with the Raiders, Cousins taking all first-team reps. Cousins looks like he's going to be the guy. Is this the call you would make if you're in Las Vegas? You got Ashton Jenney, Brock Bowers. I mean, you got some young guys, some new nucleus there. You going to throw out Kirk for another year?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I would do. I think the combination of a brand new coach who's never coached as a head coach in the NFL, quarterback who comes from a very, he's a great athlete. He's for sure he's a great athlete. He has a great personality. I think he has some great leadership qualities. But he comes from a simple college system. I think he's going to be a lot to learn. And I'm not saying Cousins is any kind of long-term answer, but that's exactly why I would start Cousins, because he's not a long-term threat, right? This is not a 27-year-old who, if he has 3 or 4 good years, it puts you in this weird spot, a la the Minnesota Vikings a couple of years ago, getting Darnold, putting him in there, and then feeling like, I got to give this other kid a chance, and so I let Darnold go. Cousins could have a great year, and you still could let him go at the end of the year.
Oh, you could.
Because he's old. He's old.
Yeah,
and
I
then
forgot
you get
this was
Mendoza.
your take. I forgot. You're this guy. You got to go with this guy, and you got to develop this guy, and you got to wait around. You would have J.J. McCarthy thrown out there for how long? You want J.J. out there for the Vikings. I forgot about this.
Well, I mean, you drafted a first-round pick. He had 1 year where he completely lost the season to injury. This past year, he wasn't good and then injured again, correct? I mean, like, what's going on? Like, I would give that guy a chance. But, you know, I think in this particular scenario, I think Mendoza needs to learn a lot about the NFL game. And I think Cousins, I don't know enough about him other than he comes off as a guy who will be helpful in the QB room, not a guy who's going to sit there and say, I don't want to help you at all. Right? We've seen guys like that, including my buddy Aaron Rodgers, who doesn't want to necessarily help the younger guy. I think Cousins would at least be somewhat amenable to it. He knows his career is near the end. This is the kind of opportunity Mendoza gets to sit back. And it's worked for a lot of quarterbacks. I mean, let's be fair. Mahomes, like I kind of equate it to something like that. Mahomes with Alex Smith.
Yeah.
Right? You know, Alex Smith wasn't going to be a long-term answer for Kansas City. Cousins is not a long-term answer for the Raiders. Give Mendoza a year. If Cousins is truly terrible 10 games in and the season's going nowhere, then you put Mendoza in.
All right. I tend to go with, I want to go with the number one guy because the rookie pay scale and the whole thing is you got to get this guy in. And I come from the Broncos side where Bo Nix wasn't Mendoza, and the Broncos had to go with Bo Nix. I mean, we weren't going to mess around anymore. You just got to go with Bo Nix. Started off first 5-6 games, not good, rough. Then turned the corner last half of the year, his first year. Then was really solid last year. Mendoza's going to wait around, and the Raiders are going to sit here with Kirk Cousins. You saw what happened in Atlanta. They thought he was going to be good. They gave him the keys, and then they're like, well, we're going to draft Penix. And then Kirk went downhill fast. I went to the Falcons-Broncos game. Kirk is a shell of himself. His last good time was with the Vikings. It's over.
Yeah, you might be right on that, Nate. And that's why I think you can give him the hook early if he's truly bad. I think the Knicks thing was a little different, though, because the Broncos were closer to winning, and you needed to see right away if you were going to get something out of Knicks, right? You needed to see if he was going to be the answer there. The Raiders are not that close to winning, right? They are a year or two at best away. So you don't want to send this guy out there and have him have a really rough go of it at the beginning.
You don't?
No, I don't, because I think if Knicks had had a rough time of it, the Broncos still would have been competitive enough because they had talent around him. Certainly defensively they had great talent, and they had a decent offensive line. I'd be a little worried in the Raiders situation that you could do him more damage. And what's the best case scenario if he starts week one? You know, maybe you win 7 games in the season. Let's let him settle in and figure out life in the NFL. For at the very least, give him 10 weeks. Can we go 10 weeks and then have him start basically the second half of the season?
I'm glad I'm not a Raiders fan because it's going to be hell. This is going to be, I mean, you're going to have Kirk D. Cousins out there. It's going to be rough. They got a rough start to the schedule. It's going to be bad. You know what Raiders fans are going to be doing. You got the number one pick sitting there. It's going to be a disaster. You're coming to watch the Raiders. I want Mendoza. I don't want Kirk Cousins out here for the Rob Keighron let's take it slow approach.
Well, it's worked in a lot of places, Nate. I mean, it worked in Kansas City. It worked with Green Bay.
That's it. You threw Jackson Dart out there.
We did
throw him out there.
And that's a place like New York where the fan base is very tough. They want to, when the results are not happening immediately. That one part of the throwing Jackson Dart out, and you know this, Nate, was Brian Dable was in trouble. And so they had to come up with something to try to get some momentum going, right? And Dart at least was a bit of a shot in the arm. We just don't know what he is yet. Mendoza, obviously more talent than Jackson Dart. I think we would both agree with that. I don't think you need to see something right out of the gate because any smart Raiders fan knows that they don't have a great chance this year one way or the other.
Okay, maybe, but they want to watch Mendoza. This is the ticket.
And I'm all for getting him in at some point this year. I don't think you have to sit him a whole year. But do you have to start him in week one? Who are the Raiders playing in week one?
I don't know, but
neither do I.
They got a tough schedule. I do know that. Like the first 6 games are tough.
And that's what I'd be worried about is the fact that you're going to throw this guy out there, and he's not exactly going to be completely ready to go, and then he gets his butt kicked, and it can set, it can absolutely set some guys back quite a bit.
This is the number one pick, man. This isn't Aaron Rodgers, who wasn't. This isn't Mahomes. Mahomes wasn't even a number one pick. It's a number one pick. If he can't play right away, let's go.
They do start at home versus the Miami Dolphins. So it is kind of a soft landing there. And then they go at the Chargers, at the Saints. You could do it. Honestly, I think this is one of those things where I don't know when they have their bye. It looks like they have their bye late in the season.
But some tough games early on, though, right? I did see that.
Well, the first three are not that tough. Dolphins, Chargers, Saints. Then
Chargers,
home for the Chiefs, at the Patriots, home Buffalo, home Rams. Then they go at the Jets. Home San Francisco. At San Francisco, home Seattle, at Denver. Jeez. They're not playing this guy until... Now, here's the one you start. After the bye in middle December, have him be home against the Chargers. Enough of a soft landing, and then he gets. He doesn't have the worst. It's not the worst finish.
Listen.
Home Denver, home Tennessee, at the Cardinals, at the Chiefs. That's when you do it. He plays the last 5 or 6 games.
That stretch right there that you just mentioned, Rams in there, Niners in there. Kirk Cousins might not be with us after that.
That's true.
Anyway.
They might have to throw Mendoza in.
You thought he was a hat rack before. He's not going to move. I saw him running today, a warm-up. He can't even move. He couldn't move before. Coming right back, wrapping up the show tonight with Rob Keighron's PGA Tour event. They're going to try something new. I wonder if he thinks this is good. Coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Weekend meal rules, they're different. Lots of meats, messier bites, zero regrets. That's why you need Village Hearth. Freshly baked old-fashioned buns that hold up to jumbo hot dogs, juicy burgers, and bold ideas. From lazy lunches to neighborhood block parties, Village Hearth brings it all together. Whatever's on the grill, make the bun count. Village Hearth. Cookouts start here.
Mom, can we please go to Waitiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Waitiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Waitiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WaitikiWaterpark.com.
Rev up your summer with the Stars, Stripes, and Savings event at Spearfish GMC Cadillac. Just announced employee pricing for everyone on new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500, plus 0% financing for well-qualified buyers. Need heavy-duty power? Get into a new GMC Sierra HD and save up to $3,000. Looking for the perfect SUV? We've got an incredible selection of Terrain, Acadia, Yukon, and Yukon XL ready to roll. Don't wait. Shop anytime at SpearfishMotors.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A severe thunderstorm watch continues until 9 p.m. tonight. Lows dip down to about 64 tonight under mainly clear skies with a slight chance of thunderstorms. Winds out of the northwest 8 to 15 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies again tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 90. Mainly clear tomorrow night 63. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, 78.
Play at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort this summer, and you'll qualify for $25,000 Sizzling Saturdays. 3 players will be drawn every Saturday to grab their share of $25,000 in cash and prizes. Play with your clubhouse card and earn entries automatically. There are loads of prizes, including up to $5,000 cash, and this month's featured prize, an infrared sauna valued at $3,500. It's all happening at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort in downtown Deadwood. Learn more at tinlizzy.com.
Imagine this. A bank that is committed to you, that understands your needs, your values, and your growth. No more settling for the status quo. Pioneer Bank and Trust offers tailored solutions, innovative services, and a team of experts dedicated to your success. You deserve more attention and more support from your bank. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards. Find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on a Thursday, wrapping up the week. Man, it's going to get interesting in August. It's going to get interesting. Football's coming up, a lot of stuff happening. So the Nate Brown Show is on. Rob Keighron is in. Thursday happy hour. Okay, Rob, here's one for you. The PGA Tour, you love it. They're going to do an event coming up. No broadcasters. They're going to do no announcers. So let's go out to hole 15. None of that. No Jim Nantz specials. So mics are going to be on golfers, caddies, kind of like the mic stuff, you know, where you got players mic'd up. So they're going to do that. PGA Tour event. No announcers, just mics, basically. And you say what?
I say that's a little crazy. I mean, in moderation, I love the idea of actually hearing the players and the caddies talk. Now, a couple of things. First, the players are going to know they're mic'd. How forthcoming are they going to be as they talk to each other? Because players, you know, golfers who are walking down the fairways with each other are known to get a little colorful at times, right? So it could be some interesting conversations, but I'm sure they'll be careful. What I will find fascinating is the conversations between the player and caddy. So you got to be real selective about who you're putting on these broadcasts, right? Because some of these guys don't talk at all, and then some of them are, you know, they're going back and forth with their caddy for a minute or two about a decision. So I like that part, but you can't have no announcers. That's the part I don't like, right? There are things that happen in golf that you need a bit of an explanation for. There are things that happen in golf that you need a ruling on, so you're not sure what's going on. You need someone to step in there.
Good golf announcers are pretty good. Jim Nantz is excellent.
Absolutely.
He's excellent.
It's a good balance. I have a good friend of mine, Andrew Catalan, who does a lot of. He's going to do the tournament this weekend in Detroit, the Rocket Classic, and they know exactly when to talk and when not to talk. And I think to say no talking at all, you're going to leave something to be. You're going to get a little bored because there's going to be too much downtime of them not talking at all.
I was trying to think how this was going to go. I like the mic'd up players, when you used to do this on NFL films. Didn't you find that interesting where you hear that stuff and they do some of that? So I like that. But for a whole, would you like mic'd up players, an NFL game, no announcers?
No, absolutely not.
I mean, that's the kind of thing you're dealing with.
Absolutely not. A big part of watching an NFL game is the excitement that the broadcast team brings to the production. And I think to just have the players, to me, it's one of those things that you love to have it incorporated. You don't want it to be the only thing.
Here's what I would like. Next member guest tournament for Rob Keighron, I would like mic'd up Rob Keighron.
Do we have a delay on that? Or because, I've been known to say a bad word or two. You would never hear me here do that.
No, not here. Not here. Mic'd up players, no announcers, PGA Tour event. They just announced that. Rob Keighron in tonight. It's a Thursday happy hour, a packed lineup. Great guests. Go to the Nate Brown Show podcast if you missed any shows this week. We're back on Monday with another big show on the Nate Brown Show. See ya.
I started doing it once in a while. Just for fun in the car with my friends.